My name is Randy Lammons and I'm a Deputy Chief with Lubbock Fire Rescue. I don't know if there's one thing that made me want to join the military. I joined up early when I was 17. It's just something throughout my childhood and my young adult life that I wanted to do. So 7 days after high school graduation, I was in San Diego at MCRD, and the first real experience you have in the Marine Corps is boot camp. Which if you have a good attitude, it's probably one of the funnest times you've ever had in your life. If you don't have a good attitude, it's probably pretty miserable. But Marine Corps boot camp is really something special. They strip your identity from you and they rebuild you in the image of a United States Marine, and it's pretty amazing the transformation that happens there. The first stop once I got out of the School of Infantry is I actually went to Marine Barracks 8th and I in Washington, D.C. So whenever you think about the Marine Corps and you see photos of the Marines in the dress uniform, those are probably 8th and I Marines. They're stationed in D.C. They do all of the big high-profile events at the White House, Arlington National Cemetery, the Silent Drill Platoon, which everybody's familiar with, that perform at halftime shows and all that. That's where I went first stop, and I was there for about 1.5 years. So after my time in DC, I transitioned back to what we call the fleet and went back to San Diego, stationed at Camp Pendleton, lived in San Mateo there on the base, and was assigned to 2nd Battalion, 4th Marines, which is part of the 5th Marine Regiment. So there, I was only there a couple months before we left, so pretty much all of 2004 I spent in Iraq, deployed overseas. We first arrived in Kuwait, had a little acclimation period, and then we traveled north from Kuwait all through southern Iraq. Just short of Baghdad, we hung a left and we went to the city of Ramadi, and that's where we spent our deployment, was in the city of Ramadi. It's probably a city of pushing 800,000 people, and we had a little over 400 Marines there to hold that city down. So it was kind of like the Wild West in Ramadi for a while. When we first got there, it was kind of no big deal. We were actually passing out soccer balls to the locals and helping build sidewalks and schools and stuff. And then a couple months into deployment, it got pretty Western while we were there. Lots of small arms engagements, and then they changed their tactics and started using roadside bombs, VBIEDs, stuff like that. So the Purple Heart Award is given to those that are wounded in combat. The day I received my first one was April 7th. We were on what was called the Government Center. Echo Company and Golf Company were in contact. We left the Government Center, and we're working our way through, it's urban streets, urban warfare, making our way through there. And we kind of got hung up on a street corner for a little while. We were taking pretty heavy fire, couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and I took a round to the shoulder. I was very lucky in that because it actually hit the person in front of me first, so it had slowed down dramatically before it hit me in the shoulder. And I actually still have the shrapnel of the bullet in my shoulder. The second one we were on, when I received my second Purple Heart, we were on an observation post, which just means we were camped out watching a road running through Ramadi. It was a 7-story building. While we were up there, they pretty much blew out the 2 stories underneath us. So kind of rode the building down a little bit, and had traumatic brain injury is basically what I was diagnosed with. Had some brain swelling, had some vision problems and stuff like that, and that was the second one. But no, I'm very proud of those. Both times that I was injured, I never left country. I went to the hospital and spent some time in the hospital, but I never left country. I rejoined my unit and finished out the deployment. I'm proud to have them. It's something that not very many people have. I wish I didn't have them, but it is. It's something I'm very proud of. If you know a veteran in your life on Veterans Day, just reach out to them. Let them know that you appreciate what they did and their time in the service, and just let them know, same thing, that you're not alone. We're all in this together. The message I'd like to share with all the veterans in Lubbock Fire Rescue on Veterans Day is, one, welcome home, happy Veterans Day, but just remember, we're all in this together. You're not alone. If you're ever struggling, reach out.